All right, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Heather. I'm Heather Leigh Cameron, and my fans have been screaming at me to get a new episode going for a while, so I thought I would produce them. Anyway, what we're going to do today is fry some frozen, raw, skinless, boneless wild silk fillets with some peppers, cucumbers, a little bit of bacon, some apples, and some purple yams. Yeah. I've honestly really never done fillets in the pan like this, but they're really tiny and they were cheap. So let's just see what we can do with them, okay? All right, we need some oil. First of all, if we can find some, well, got some olive oil here which we can use. Just a bit, because oil is really fatty and I don't like eating fatty things. Anyway, you know what? Cooking is an art and a science. And that's what I want to explain today. Cooking is an art and a science, and I'm very proud to be doing it here for you today. So, now I would normally use a raspberry vinaigrette to sweeten the fish, but I don't have it, so we're going to use a little bit of a butter flavored syrup. Just not much. Just lightly coat it across the fish. Just lightly. And I'm not going to do very much, simply because I don't want to, but I can probably squeeze some more in there, maybe one more piece. All right, what we're going to do now is thaw out our bacon, because we will need it. We will need it in a little bit to go in the same pan as the fish, because seriously, it'll just add some, they'll add flavor to each other. Anyway, is the camera running? Anyway, yes, that's going to thaw very nicely in a minute, so we'll turn that down so it doesn't interrupt with the broadcast. I don't seem to have any cutting boards, but that's okay. We'll cut anyway and I'll clean up later. Anyway, we'll move the fish since we no longer need it. We'll add a couple pieces, just because, out of love. Oh. We'll move that, we'll move this back. We'll add a little more syrup. The butter flavor is always the best. The bacon's thawing nicely. We'll add our apples and our little vegetables. Make sure you take the tags off your apples. Otherwise, people are going to be eating tags. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a fetish for that, even though some may do. Some might. And anyway, we're going to do some apples. I'm not going to peel any of this, simply because I don't want to today. It's too hot to be running all over the house with a peeler, and besides, this seems to be doing its job, and I like unpeeled apples anyway. So we'll throw these in. For chicken, when you want to make it sweeter, I'd recommend raspberry vinaigrette, but I didn't have any, and you know, money's tight. So I'm going to make do with what I've got. And these aren't perfect apple pieces, honestly, but they're what is going to be gotten. And the fish will probably start frying pretty soon. honestly, I don't have a lot of reliable knives on me. Because when I moved in here, my mom took lots of my stuff home, so I don't have a lot of kitchen equipment that's actually mine. So I'm making do with what I've got. And I think we'll only need like one apple. We don't want to overwhelm it with apples because that'll take away the taste of the fish. And we'll sweep that to the side and clean up later. Simply because I don't have the patience to clean up now. Where did my butter go? Did I seriously lose my butter? Oh no, here it is. My butter's in the fridge. Can you see what I'm doing, everyone? Oh, it's starting to heat up nicely. Let's turn it down a bit. Would you prefer if I move it over here? Do it this way? That might allow you to see it a little better. Anyway, bacon's thawing nicely. What we need now is a spoonful of butter. Of course, you get a bit of spoon simply because. Maybe a couple of spoonfuls just to there, and that'll melt nicely. It's always important to keep a clean workstation when you're doing cooking. And always important to wash your hands when you're doing cooking. Because honestly, you have to respect the food that you cook with. Once you know what it is, I mean, even if you've never cooked with it before, you still have to pay respect to the food you make. And I know that may not be easy for some of you because, you know what? Life is too short not to try new things, and if you try new things, you have to be open to learning new things. Wash our knives and cut the cucumber. I love how long cucumbers are in Canada in certain stores. Like the English ones, they are very long, very pleasant to work with. We'll probably only need about half of it because they're really long. It's probably good right there. So we'll put the rest over here because we don't need it. Honestly, we'll rotate this to the back. Nah, oh no, it's fine there. Anyway, we'll flop that back on. We'll cut these into quarters simply just because I want to. It's so much easier to cut them into quarters because they're bite-sized that way. And I've used vegetables before, but not with fish. Got to hurry because fish is hard to cook. I don't think I've ever really cooked it pan-fried before. I think I've only baked bassa filet, or sole filet, excuse me. It's a sole filet and it's skinless and boneless. But I figured I would give you all a nice treat. Honestly. Because people have been asking me to do a cooking video for a very long time. And I've just been too busy. I mean, honestly, I'd love to go on to MasterChef or something like that if I was able to. But that would have to be the Lord's will, 100%. Like, He'd have to certainly open the way for that. Because, you know, I do care about the Lord's will. Anyway, we're going to add a little zest. Some Diet cranberry. Just to kind of, just a couple of dollops. I'm not going to use the blackberries in this because I like them too much and I want to eat them as a snack. Anyway, we've got more vegetables to chop. We've got these little buggers. They're called purple yams, and I had never heard of them until yesterday. Oh, but they're purple inside. We'll give them a quick rinse, quick dry. And then we'll slice them in half. I mean, I didn't peel them simply because they look very interesting. Look at how interesting they look unpeeled. And they're small, so you should not to worry. Like the bigger parts we can cut into half, just because we want to be able to eat. And it's about using the whole yam. I don't like to waste. If they're absolutely too big to be kept in halves, you can cut them into quarters. But do be aware they will stain your kitchen counter, so you probably want a cutting board, but I don't have one in this house. As I said, half my cooking supplies are in Raymond. Alright, that's about it. I've got one more piece here. Hope I can get the stain out of the kitchen counter. Oh, it comes off easy enough. I mean, I'm so appreciative of my ability to cook and to entertain people while I cook, because cooking is a science and an art, and I respect it so very much. Anyway, got our food. We do need a pepper, but I don't want a red pepper because red peppers annoy me for some reason. So we're going to try a yellow pepper today. But you know what? I'm willing to cook with any pepper that is available. I actually went to a farmer's market in downtown Lethbridge before I came home, and I managed to get the best peppers for $3 in a whole pack. So be sure to take out the seeds. My mother used to give me heck about this all the time because I'd always leave the seeds in. But you know, I've gotten better at not doing that since I've gotten older and had more practice with cooking. Anyway. You want to just slice them up neatly. I'll use the other peppers for something else, but I just wanted to use a yellow one today because I don't want too many peppers in there. Fish is cooking, all the condiments. Well, all the additions, excuse me. Condiments are things like ketchup and mustard and sauces. And these are additions to the dish. I was going to use rice and stuff, but I think fish is great. Fish is something I'm really have not worked with much, and in order to get better at cooking, you need to work with things you haven't worked with much and strengthen your weaknesses. Anyway, look at that. I didn't get any, I missed only one seed, but it fell out. So I'm good. These knives are dull as heck, but sometimes you gotta work with dull knives even though you don't want to. This looks so good, doesn't it? It certainly is boiling nicely. We still got to put the bacon in, and hopefully we can do that in a minute. And the bacon's really just going to be an accompaniment to what's already there. It's not really going to do anything, but fish and bacon often are happy side by side. Oh, it looks like it's thawed, so we can get into it. All right, we've got a nice little strip of bacon here. We will put some spices in this, don't worry. People are going to freak out, oh, you're not using spices. Well, don't worry, we're going to put some spices in, don't worry. We may only get half pieces of bacon, but that's okay. We can put them in halves and then it'll be even better. Sometimes it some more, yes. You don't want too much. Just some sexy strips of bacon across the top. Now, I'm warning you, the fish may break, but that's okay. I'm not really fussed about it because I'm going to eat it anyway. Alright, that's enough bacon. And we're going to make it sweet bacon. Put it back first. And that's it out. And refreeze it. Well, I think we should refreeze it right away, actually, because I don't need it. I don't need the rest of it right now. There we go. Now let's wash our hands and sweeten up bacon. Sweet syrup across the bacon. And we need some spices. We need some other ones we're not going to use. Lemon pepper's a bit strong, but we do want some, a tiny bit of thyme, not much. Tiny bit of onion powder. Okay. Some dill. And that's about it for spices. Oh, maybe some salt and pepper. Oh, there's some right there. You don't. Maybe a bit of pepper as well, just because I hate pepper, but spice things up anyway. We need a spatula of some sort. Or tongs. I can't find anything in this plastic kitchen. Use what tools we have. We've got to just mix up the bacon now and the condiments as well. We can check on the fish. Of course it breaks. But you know what? It's okay. It's a mix. It's a fish and bacon mix. The fish is bound to break, but that's all right. They're so tiny fillets anyway, I didn't give them much chance, and that's what I get. If you're shopping at a store, it's brand new, instead of going somewhere I'm familiar with. Honestly, this could almost be a burrito. A fish and bacon burrito. Ooh. That could almost be it, and that would be interesting. You know what? We should make a fish and bacon burrito. You know what? We should. Let's find some shells. Although we don't need to make a fish and bacon burrito because I'm perfectly happy with fish and bacon as it is. I mean, no, I didn't expect the fillets to stay together in the pan simply because they're so small. Bigger fillets probably would. But you know, I got a whole pack of small fillets for $10, and considering let's get some steam going if we can. This almost looks like a stir fry. But honestly, I'm very proud of it anyway. I mean, it's interesting. If only it would cook a little faster. Turn it up. It's for sure cooking. I can feel it cooking. But yeah, I mean, of course, tiny fillets will almost always break in a pan. Because it was like this big. And so we're just going to get a bit of a summer stew or stir fry or something like that. Oh, now it's cooking good. Just a little more sweet. And there's cranberry juice in there as well, so hopefully it'll just... Oh, now it's cooking for realsies now. It sounds so nice. And I'm so pleased with how it's turning out in the crab. It's actually turning out quite well. Cooking, I have to say, is my favorite pastime besides doing stuff on YouTube and swimming and things like that. It's actually turning out quite well. You know what would make it even better? Here's my brown rice. If we added a touch of brown rice to it to make it really, 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 really semi-Asian. Almost, but I don't think very big. Like, honestly, this is what is called experimental cooking. This is like a rice stew or something like that. Rice and bacon and purple yams and peppers and apples I wasn't originally going to add rice, but seeing as it'll be just this rice little yummy, yummy dish. Fish and bacon with rice. I'm not going to add a whole bunch though, just because. I think this is definitely yummy. Okay, it's immersed. Now time to let it cook a little bit. I might add some water for steam. I honestly don't know. Just because I taught one of my roommates that if you put water in a steaming dish, steam will just accumulate. There, that was really nice. Okay, so look at this. It's just cooking and it's so graceful. It's going to be interesting when it's done. It's going to take a bit before it's done though. So I'm just going to sit here and talk to you about cooking and clean up a little bit. Because cleaning up is always important. It's always something that I value in cooking. And I'll put the fillets away too so they don't melt or thaw. Because I really don't want to have to work with them quite yet. I'll just put a bag over them so they don't. A Ziploc. There. And you could probably eat this with a variety of sauces, but seeing as it's more of an Asian dish than anything, I would probably recommend plum sauce. I didn't intend for it to turn into an Asian-like dish, but honestly, that's what it does sometimes when you start cooking. You don't know what it's going to turn into until you're done. And I'm pretty much done. It's just got to cook up. So yeah, honestly, come and look at this. Come look at this flavor. I'll walk you to it. Look at that, my gosh. Look at how good that is. Honestly. That just looks amazing, doesn't it? Okay, we'll transfer it to this pan so you can see it better and so we don't roast the big snot out of that. Look at that. That just looks absolutely amazing. You don't want to overwork your burners, so if you can, just swap your creation between burners so they. Sorry about that, viewers. Sometimes the camera freaks out and decides that it's done recording, so I have to go put it on the computer before I can come back. Anyway, oh, look at how nice this is cooking. It tastes good. All those flavors soaking into one another. Turn it up again now that I'm back so we can get some steam on this. Oh no. It's gonna start cooking really fast and I love it. Honestly, cooking is an art and a science, and you have to respect the food that you work with. You may not really understand what you're working with, but sometimes you have to work with food like that, and you have to make the best of things. Like this here. I haven't worked with fish much. I haven't worked with purple yams ever. I haven't done a cooking video in a while, but you know what? I made the best of things, and this is the result. Seriously, anybody can be a home cook. You just have to have the dedication and the patience to see it through. I probably do because I'm a freelance journalist and a student, and both of those require patience and hard work. I mean, I understand that certain things go together and certain things don't. This just happens to go together in a really unique way that I didn't think would work, but it did. I'm a home cook. I've done this for a while now. And this is beautiful food. There's no doubt about it. This is beautiful food. My name is Heather Leigh Cameron. I'm 28 years old. I live in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. And I'm a home cook. Nothing wrong with that, nothing to be ashamed of. Now look at this. The steam is just making it cook so nicely that it's going to be done before we know it. But we do need more water. And this way it'll cook more, cook faster. Because the steam that rises from it will be phenomenal. So it's going to boil up really nice, really soon, so we're just going to watch it. It's so phenomenal. Look at the steam rising from that thing. And as it all warms up, it's going to bubble even more, and it's just going to make a beautiful masterpiece. Of course, you'll have to drain it when it's done, but that's not an issue. You'll just have to be really careful. Oh, there's a strainer. It's small, but it'll do. It's small, but it will do for this. It's just boiling so beautifully, honestly. You almost get a bit of a soup stock. But I don't want to use the soup stock, honestly. I really don't. So it's probably going to go down the same. But you know what? People don't have to throw away everything. But honestly, all I want is the creation that I've got. I don't need the stock. But you can keep the stock in storage if you want to store it properly. So it's just cooking away, and it's going to look really good hopefully when it's done. Just look at how it's boiling. My gosh, this is something you have to see close up. Look at that. I mean, honestly, this is something that is very easily made if you put the time and dedication to it, if you're patient. Because there's multiple components that have to cook here, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to put the time into it. And now everything's getting a fair chance to cook. Look at the steam rising from that. It's a hot day, but it just is so fun to cook this that I don't even care. It's just absolutely fun. And I suppose we can wipe up some of this loose rice now while we wait for this to finish. Oops. Just be careful if you choose to wipe it up around the stove, because there, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? This bacon is really getting cooked. I love how the fat is just melting. I mean, people have been asking me to do this for a really long time, but the fish was so small that I decided to give it some friends. Honestly, I'm not afraid of this. Alright, so back to the cooking episode. This looks to be almost finished. I'd say it is, honestly. I'd say it's finished. Well, let's check it. I'd say it's about finished because you don't want everything soft because it'll taste bad. Honestly, it's done. All right. Be careful, it's a huge pot. Let's move my roommate's dishes out of the way. Perhaps I should, just simply dish it in. I'm dishing it in to the strainer so that I don't drop the whole thing and get burned. And it's best to eat this sort of thing in a bowl, in case you're wondering. Well, I'll just show you what I'm doing so you don't think a bunch of weird things. Just want to be careful to scrape as much as you can. Into the bowl or into the strainer, and just be gentle with it. You have to be gentle with food, otherwise it's not going to work with you or be very good. Just scrape the sides. All right, now that is draining. So let's just move our dishes around so this one can cool by itself. I'll just keep it like that for a bit. I mean, I apologize for the state of the kitchen, but I will clean it up. But honestly, plum sauce is your best topping. Plum sauce is your best topping. And be careful if you clean this right away because you don't see the steam still coming off of it. Be careful. Be careful, maybe wait a few minutes, but this is going to look very nice. But we should get on with creating for real. All right, awesome. Okay, we can put the dishes out there. Half these dishes aren't mine, half of them are my roommates, but whatever. Anyway, we're gonna plate now. And I'm gonna do it in view of you all, and we're gonna use a bowl. Simply because it's easier eating in a bowl. It's a surprise Asian dish. It's probably all I want to eat for lunch. All right, then we coat it in plum sauce. And we'll go up on a close-up just to say goodbye to the dish. That is the surprise Asian dish. Asian surprise, I suppose. That's disrespectful, but still. It turned into a semi-Asian dish. Anyway, this is Cooking with Heather. Enjoy the rest of your day. Or do you want me to taste it? We can taste it. I'll certainly taste it. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Anyway, this is Cooking with Heather signing off.